Boyle is a Democratic congressman from Pennsylvania. Congressman Boyle, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. I want to get, you're going to, as a congressman, have intelligence access. Donald Trump's incoming press secretary said it's irresponsible to commit a response before the Intelligence Committee releases its report on the 2016 hacking, which is less than 18 days away, obviously, because President Obama wanted it before he leaves office. Why not wait and see what this report says?
Well, first of all, Happy New Year. Thanks for having me on. I don't think that it's accurate to say that there's somehow any sort of doubt remaining as far as what the origin was of these attacks. There's no question whether it's FBI, CIA, or other dozen or so intelligence services that this did originate with Russia, and specifically at the very top. So attempting to somehow portray this as there's any doubt is really misleading. It's also, I never thought, regardless of Democrat or Republican, I never thought in my lifetime I would see a Republican president-elect who is soft when it comes to Russia and a Russian dictator. It is a really bizarre situation that we're in, and my hope is that Congress will be able to react in a bipartisan way. We've already seen that now at the hearing that Senator McCain said he's going to have just this upcoming week on Thursday. I would like to see the House do that as well.
Okay, well, this is the first time you're seeing Lindsey Graham here with John McCain on the screen, both of them saying that they want Congress to do more. This will be the first time you've seen Republicans come out contrary to what the president-elect is saying. What kind of juice do they have to get anything done?
Well, actually, they have a lot. I mean, between the Democratic members in the House and Senate, and if enough Republican members want this, we'll be able to pass with a very large majority, possibly even a veto-proof majority, tougher sanctions. And that's important, especially when it comes to the sanctions that are placed on Russia because of their takeover of Crimea and other actions in eastern Ukraine. All throughout the campaign, the president-elect and people as part of his campaign have made very dangerous suggestions that we would weaken or even remove those sanctions. That's why it's important that Republicans, specifically in the Congress, put country first, Trump second, and make sure that we continue to have a foreign policy that stands by Ukraine as well as our other NATO allies.
You heard the conversation we were just having about Obamacare with Dana Milbank. Let me play you what President-elect Trump said on Saturday night about Obamacare. This is video that was just released this morning. Listen to this.
All I can tell you is we're going to do a good job. Okay? We're going to do a good job. The taxes are coming down. Regulations are coming off. We're going to get rid of Obamacare because...
A little hard to hear, so for our viewers, I'm just going to read that. All I can tell you is we're going to do a good job, okay? We're going to do a good job. In fact, regulations are going off. We're going to get rid of Obamacare. He and others have consistently said it's job number one for the new Congress and for his first in power. Democrats really do have very little power in this new Washington. What happens?
Well, first of all, I was really struck by the amazing specificity of his comments there. All throughout the campaign, his position has basically been, Obamacare is terrible, it's awful, he's going to replace it with something great and wonderful, and that's the extent of his plan. Let's not forget that the origin of Obamacare was actually, it is the Republican alternative to the Democratic plan back 20 years ago, which was simply expanding Medicare and expanding Medicaid. So the reason why Republicans have a tough time coming up with their own alternative is because essentially Obamacare is the Republican alternative, a market solution to expanding Medicare. I think that once we get into the details and the weeds of repeal and replace, they will recognize the difficulty of replacing it, especially when we have right now in America the lowest number of Americans uninsured that we've ever had in our nation's history. Are they really going to throw over 20 million Americans off health care?
Well, Congressman, do you have, what's the solution? When he said on 60 Minutes to Leslie Stahl that he wants to maintain the ability for children to be on their parents' policy and make sure that people with pre-existing conditions can get insurance. Once you have those two in place, what alternative do you have other than to have a mandate so that everybody subscribes or everybody pays? And that's Obamacare.
Well, I would love to have all the good parts and then not have to worry about paying for it. But unfortunately, as we know, that's not the way life works. As Dana Milbank was mentioning earlier, it'd be great to have dessert all the time without eating our vegetables, but we know that we can't exactly do that. Likewise, we can't say to the market, well, we're going to make sure that no one with pre-existing conditions is discriminated against in the healthcare system without saying that we need everyone in the pool. It is impossible to do one without the other. Barack Obama in 2008 campaigned against Hillary Clinton, saying that he was against the individual mandate, and then once he came into office, he recognized that the only way to get one half of that to work is with the other.
Congressman Brendan Boyle, good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you.